but I just didn't even want to talk about it. Like, who's going to believe Willie Nelson walks up and says, I've been watching you for a decade and really like your work and you're a great guy and we ought to talk sometime. And then Willie Nelson calls up my office, just like Charlie Sheen and so many others who don't want to go public. I mean, film producers who've made millions of dollars have called me. And they're scared. They're buying houses overseas. They're getting out of the country. They know people in high positions who openly say, yeah, it's world government. You better join it. But they didn't have the courage of Charlie Sheen. They didn't have the courage of Willie Nelson. But Willie Nelson, finishing up, the presence. I'm having this event. I'm showing Endgame. The movie's ended. And all of a sudden, he comes around behind the counter, and I'm signing videos, and it's Willie Nelson. And I turn and I look at him, and it was like Obi-Wan Kenobi, just zen. I mean, it was intense. I could feel it. I've never been, he just has the strongest, and it's not even a strong presence. It's like I don't know, Willie Nelson's an amazing person. And again, I know a lot of big shots and a lot of great people, and they're all wonderful, but I don't bug them. I don't call them all the time. I don't try to go hang out with them, even though I could, because I got work to do. But Willie Nelson's somebody that I think I will give him a call and take some invitations and hang out with him, because he's just an amazing person. And there's a lot of other amazing people who I've met who all have presence, who are all great people. It's just he is a substantive, strong, deep person who cares and who's informed and who takes time to research. And people making jokes about him, the courage of coming on my radio show. And I was throwing him softball questions. I didn't want to get him on and have him say 9/11 was an inside job like he privately told me, and he just started saying it. And I have to say, the actors and musicians and people I know are a million times smarter and a million times cooler than multimillionaire, know-it-all yuppies in their fancy houses, leveraged in debt, with their 4 or 5 Mercedes and, their bubblehead wife acting fake. I don't want to hang around with those people. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to have anything to do with them. It's just so good. I mean, I have been rewarded for what I've done. And sometimes my life is so good and the things happening in it are so good, while the whole world's going to crap around me, economy falling apart, government-sponsored terror, all this tyranny, I ask, God, I get to know people like Jimmy and Robin Vaughn, who are just sweethearts, smart, wonderful people. Jimmy has just got such a spirit, such a great guy, knows about the New World Order, inside job, gone public with all of it. His courage to get to know people like Willie Nelson, to get to know all these other people I know who haven't had the courage to go public, like a Willie Nelson or a Charlie Sheen or a Jimmy Vaughn or an Andres von Bulow or a Bill Christensen or a Bob Baer. I mean, we're winning this fight. 84% of Americans in an Angus and Reid poll 2 years ago said they believe they were being lied to by the government. There are scientific polls as high as 66% believing the government carried out the attacks. The media keeps using some 2.5-year-old Scripps Howard News Service poll where 36% believe the government did it and 60-something% believe they were involved. Hell, it's a lot worse than that for you. So you go ahead, all you people that serve the government, all the censors and all the people that, and all the university systems, and not the people at the universities, but the university filters that filter out prisonplanet.com, and the libraries that filter out infowars.com, the corporations that filter out my websites. You're not stopping anything. In fact, you're showing people that this is forbidden information. You are showing people that this is something that the establishment doesn't want them to have. And you're causing people to go research. And I don't want anybody to believe me that 9/11 is an inside job. I want you to not go to the straw men, the fake arguments that Popular Mechanics owned by Hearst Publishing, the fathers of yellow journalism, literally the progenitors of it. They build up straw men. They say we said things we never said, and then they build a straw man, a paper tiger that isn't us, and then they build a dummy of Alex Jones, and they put it in the boxing ring, and then they come up and beat up that dummy, and then tell the world they debunked me. That's what a straw man is. You don't fight the person. You don't fight Charlie Sheen. You don't fight Willie Nelson. You don't fight the former Italian president or the Japanese parliament. You either ignore the really credible ones that are credible just on their credentials, and then you try to pick and choose who you think's weak, who you can attack, and that's blown up in your face. But more than just a straw man that way, they build up these fake things we never said, or they twist them, and then they have false arguments and try to demolish things we never said. Or they go find the COINTELPRO kooks and nuts, and some of them are just nuts, some of them are government. We've proven that. We've even gotten 4-year documents on some of it that may be coming out soon. I'm looking at the liability of bringing it out. That there are people in the 9/11 truth movement who come out and say space beams blew up the towers. Godzilla did it. So the Fox can have them on. Oh, they'll have them on all day. But will they have the former Italian president, former head of their intelligence? Will they have the former head of German intelligence? Will they have the former head of German technology? Will they have the former Secretary of Defense from Germany? All gone public. Will they have the number 3 from the Blair government? Oh, no. You won't go up against the real person, the real heroes, the people that have the courage to stand up when they see a threat to humanity. You won't do that for a single solitary second, will you? You'll go on and stage these events, stage these elections, stage these little chicken fights you have. But you know what? The jig's up. More and more people, even the fluoride, brain-damaged population out there, is figuring out what you've done, and they're finding out what you've done. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice, my friends. We don't have a choice in the world. This elite has poisoned our water, our food. We have their documents by design to make you dumbed down and more easily manageable. It's the ultimate control freak move to try to hurt you. Think of the dominance, the aggressiveness of that, to poison you and then dumb you down and take over the schools and set up systems where learning isn't fun by design. I've interviewed the former heads of the Department of Education, the people, the documents. I mean, it's all true. The cold-bloodedness of trying to hurt people and basically cut their Achilles tendon, hamstring, both of them. It'd be like if you were going to run a race and the New World Order's got 5, 6 people about to run a race, and they have the police hold you down and they walk over and cut your Achilles tendon down by your heel. They slit 5 of the runners, and the 6th guy can just run on around and win. You look at the founding Rockefeller, or the Rockefeller dynasty, the son of the snake oil salesman, Big John D. And then John D. Jr. and his current brood that runs our country, his boys. And they wrote books about competition being the enemy, monopoly being the key. This is not a free market. This is a monopoly. These monopoly men own the banks. They issue the liquidity. They are controlling the economic collapse that is happening right now. They issued unlimited currency, unlimited liquidity, but they want real tangible assets, so they had to cut off the liquidity 6 months ago to start this domino effect, and we told you that 3 years before it started. Exactly what would happen, because good people inside the system left, like Joseph Stiglitz, chief economist, World Bank, and others, and the documents were leaked where they were planning this. And we had people inside Bilderberg, and it came out 3 years before it started, that they were going to pop the real estate bubble. And you laughed at us because you've been drinking the fluoride and you think you're part of the system. The biggest thing to all the good old boys, the system is good at making you feel like you're part of the elite. You live in a $5 million house. You got the best membership at the best golf club in New York or San Francisco or Austin, Texas.